Channel 7 brings you Maury County Update at 12:30 with BJ Fields. Sponsored by Sulphur Community Bank and the Chickasaw Telephone Company.
Fast, efficient communication at the lowest price possible. Friendly service with a smile. Adequate personal accommodations. These are a few things the Chickasaw Telephone Company stands for. The Chickasaw Telephone Company realizes that your needs are their greatest concern. In a fast-moving technological society, the Chickasaw Telephone Company is a front-runner for progress and service to every individual with whom they do business. Look to them for leadership. Chickasaw Telephone Company.
Welcome to Maury County Update, ladies and gentlemen. We have Jerry Fullerton, the city manager of Davis, in the studio with us today, and we're going to talk to Jerry about the meeting you had on the 13th, Jerry. About how many people turned out for your meeting?
BJ, we had about 35 business people and people that was interested to come to the meeting. That was the second of the town meetings that we had called, and we feel like there's been a lot of real interest in doing something in the community, and we want to be sure we take the right direction. So in our meeting, we discussed some of the committee assignments that had been made previous, such as the coupon committee. They have it made. They explained how it would work, and we were going to run some samples on it. And the ladies that were in charge of that, they have contacted the business people that wanted to put something in the coupon booklet. And of course, we have a little problem. The whole thing was to try to get more business into Davis, and with the bridge situation, we don't know whether that'll defeat the coupon booklets or not, but we may go over on the lake side and give some of these coupon books out toward the lake instead of just at Turner Falls. You know?
Okay, let's talk about those coupons just a little bit more. How many committees did you form first, Jerry?
Well, we had at this second meeting, we formed 4 new committees. We have publicity, activities, downtown redevelopment, and then the coupons, people working on the coupons. And they've had some of their own special meetings. For instance, we're discussing downtown lighting. Mm-hmm. Some have wanted to go with some lamp posts and do some things different than just regular street lights. They met at 7 o'clock Monday morning after the meeting, and they're getting some information. They had some catalogs, some cost estimates and whatnot. So it looks like most of the committees are all very active. They took the lead and went ahead to find out this information, because we're going to meet back again the 13th of March. We've just left the 13th, you know. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to get some information and try to come up with some solid information on what direction we need to take. And some of them asked me, are you going to do this, you're going to do that? We don't know what we're going to do. That's the reason we have the meetings. Mm-hmm. And when we come up with something very solid, then we'll try to go full steam ahead and institute the things that they think we ought to do. And I'm just very happy that the Chamber of Commerce, Kiwanis clubs, most of the BNPW, we've discussed downtown decoration of the windows, the closed buildings, doing the windows downtown. They've taken the lead and they're checking on that. So, you know, the working together is where we're going to accomplish whatever we get, is doing it together.
Well, Jerry, exactly how will a coupon book work if you do get it in?
Okay, what they're going to do is to take a coupon book, and maybe one of them will have a free bag of ice from one of the grocery stores. One will have a free roll of films. One will say French fries free with a hamburger. Each coupon in there of business people that they're promoting the community, trying to get them to come to town. So what they'll do, they'll take this book and they'll hand this book out to a family from Texas, for instance, like down the lake or Turner Falls, and tell them where Davis is. There'll be some information there that downtown Davis welcomes you to the area, and here's a free coupon book. Then the merchants, when these people come to town and use one of these coupons, the merchants are going to give us a report of it so we will know how effective the coupon. They're printing first 100. Mm-hmm. They're going to just do 100, and then we're going to look at the analysis of it and see if those 100, how many out of 100 came back into the community. And if we see that it's running 50%, then they know to do some more coupon books. So we're looking at this as a way of stimulating the downtown or the city's business activities, see if it'll pick it up. You know, there'll be some place where they'll have a coupon for someone with a quart of oil. And we're going to make sure these coupon books gets in the hands of the visitors that's in the area to see how many of them bring those things to town. And I think that we ought to run a little research on it, and that's the reason they're just doing 100 books. And if it's effective, we can go right back and we can get some more people to participate in it. So we'll probably try to hand some out over at the lake and some at Turner Falls, and then see if they'll come back through town and use them.
So you will go ahead and do that this summer to try it?
I think they're going to go ahead, yes. And of course the bridge, that's anybody's guess on the bridge. And the bridge, of course, makes a lot of difference. If you're down at Turner Falls and you give them a coupon book, they're naturally going to have to come all the way around to come into town, where if the bridge had been in there, we could shuttle them back into town, you know, funnel them back that way. But I contacted the senator, and I've contacted the State Highway Department, and they had assured me that everything was on go, that April 15th, no later, the bridge would be open. And I just come from Oklahoma City and talked with some of the legislators up there, and they said they'd be the first to know if there's any change in it. And I come home and pick up the newspaper, and the engineer of the highway department says that there's some more problems and they're going to go for some other bids and whatnot, and I haven't been able to contact the legislators again. So someone is not reading the right information someplace, but I honestly believe there is a problem because of all the workers at the bridge site. But it's strange that I can't get that information out of Oklahoma City.
Well, if you possibly can get an update on the bridge, Jerry, if you'll call me, I'll get it on the air, because rumors are running rampant right now. And like I got a call the other night after you was on with me about 10 o'clock, and they said, Jerry didn't get his facts straight. I heard they was going to close it. And I said, well, Jerry had just talked to Darrell Roberts. So
Darrell Roberts has been in contact with me every week, and he explained to me that he would be the first to know that they were giving him an update every Friday, and if there was any change, that he would call the city hall if there was any change, because he knew that it was very important to us. And so I was giving the information that I had given is what I was getting straight from Vern Bradley, the head of the transportation department. So now where the hang-up is and what they're trying to do on it, I don't know at this time. We'll just have to wait and see. In fact, some of the news media probably would help us if they should call and find out some things.
Well, I made a trip over and talked to one of the inspectors here a couple of weeks ago, and he told me at that time they were a little ahead of schedule.
That's right.
That's happened since I've talked to him, and he was one of the state inspectors. So we'll just keep on top of it, Jerry, and keep the people informed about all we can do.
It's hurt the economy already. People that used to go to Stratford, come out of Ardmore, and they'd come through there and they'd stop and buy things. Now they're going up to Pauls Valley and across, because it's hard to. And then we had lots of Texas folks that would take the shortcut and stop by the hot tamale place and the grocery stores and then get back on the interstate. So now we've, and it's going to hurt even if the bridge is fixed, because it's going to take a while if these people are sort of stereotyped of going around. So we've got more than just sales tax drop, more than just needing business for the community. We've had some other things that's adversely affected the business attitude of the community. So we're going to work on it, and we're not about to give up.
Good, okay. Jerry, how about the award that you received from the governor? Was that Turner Falls or the city of Davis? Or?
It's Turner Falls Park. They have each year. This was the 14th annual governor's conference that we had in Oklahoma City, a 3-day conference. And what they do is they honor some industry that has promoted and made a contribution to the whole state in the tourism industry. And this is the first time that Turner Falls had ever received it. They had some good compliments to say about helping with the tourists in our area, taking care of as many as we take care of on camping and activities for them to do. And they went ahead to say that they felt like the state had operated the park better than if the state had bought it themselves. And then they made us a very nice award, a big plaque, and it was at the legislative banquet Tuesday night, and we appreciate it, and that was awarded to us for helping with the tourism industry.
Well, that's quite an honor, isn't it?
I thought that it was.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Jerry, now your next town meeting will be March the 13th. at the City Hall it's what, 6:30?
Be at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, okay.
Yeah, we meet at 6 because a lot of the places, they don't close their business till 5:30 or 6,
Okay.
and that gives them a chance, instead of going home and having to come back. We feel like that a local town meeting, it's best to come at 6 o'clock, and they could come, and then when they leave there, they can go home and not have to worry about coming back.
Well, who all's invited to your town meeting now?
Anyone that's interested in the business in Davis, and that's Chamber of Commerce members, business people. You take just interested citizens. You know, a lot of people think even to belong to the chamber you have to have a business or something, but you don't have to have. You can just be an interested party, and that would help us in giving some ideas. You know, everybody draws from you take a think tank is a lot better than going out here half-cocked and do something. And we're going to have to take a real serious look at ourselves. And I feel like that in order for us to be able to survive, get our sales tax base back up, and to do the things with the cuts that we have in the state government. And as I said, I was with some legislators not too many days ago, and so far there's not any of them convinced that they know what to do about the state's economy. And they feel also like that there's going to be some drastic cuts, and of course with revenue sharing being gone, and we're going to have to put more dependence on local and also on very good legislation. And in fact, I think we should go ahead and do away with the legislation for a year, but pass a moratorium on it, instead of sitting up there passing frivolous things about who can referee a ball game and whatnot. So we're going to have to get concerned. We're going to have to get, people need to get registered. They need to vote. They don't have to be told how to vote. They just need to vote.
Right. Make their voice heard. Well, Jerry, we appreciate you coming in. I know you got another meeting to go to, so we'll be looking forward to the next time you get to come over.
Appreciate it. Thank you, BJ.
Thank you, Jerry. We went to the Rock and Roll out at the Artesian Nursing Home yesterday afternoon. Those youngsters were having a good time out there. They've got Vernon King, and Maud Boyd was the king and queen of that affair. They was elected the Valentine Day's queen. We got some shots of Vernon and Maud here in just a few minutes. For each $5 donation to the Heart Fund, one of the local residents would either rock for 5 minutes or roll for 1 block. Now, the children here are pushing some of the residents here. Now, they would, for $5, they would roll for 1 block. Those students would push those residents in their wheelchairs for 1 block, and the ones that could, they'd push themselves. They all had all type of refreshments, too. I think quite a few of the people brought refreshments, and they had punch and different type of cookies. I think Bob said that they raised in the neighborhood of $3,000, and they're not through yet. From what I understand, it was $3,700 last year, and it'll probably be as much or more this year when all of the donations come in. But they did have a good time there, and we're glad we got. Here's our king and queen. There's Maud and Vernon right there. That's the king and queen. They're rocking. That's a whole group back in the sunroom, and they're rocking. They have to rock 5 minutes for a $5 donation. They had plenty of music, and all of them were singing and just having a good time. Bob and his staff out there do a great job on this every year. They really get those folks involved in it. We appreciate them. That's Major Clago. He come over to get some of the refreshments. There they are rocking for 5 minutes. I'd like to remind everybody that the 5th Annual Arbuckle Band Day now will be tomorrow morning starting at 8 o'clock. Just go down to the high school auditorium, and there'll be possibly 20 bands there, and they'll be starting at 8 a.m. So if you possibly can, get by and see that thing. It's going to be a beautiful music, and they're going to have a good time down there. The National Child Passenger Safety now will be next week, starting on the 23rd through March the 1st. We've got Marvin Hyde from the hospital here in Maury County that's going to be with us next Wednesday, and Marvin will explain that program. He's going to a meeting Monday, and he said he would come by Wednesday and bring us up to date on that safety week with all the information that he picks up on Monday. The 4-H people in the ID meat judging contest yesterday over at Davis. Now, the winners will go to Ada tomorrow. They will have a district meeting at Ada in the morning, starting at 8 o'clock, and then the kids that win over at the Ada district meeting will be going to Oklahoma City on March the 22nd. So that's one that Harold Oakley was involved with over at the Davis Meat Locker there. They had a real good turnout. I think Harold said he had over 100 children involved in that, about 180 in fact. We do have some video. Let's watch the video on that, Neil.
Make sure that you have your age on your card and the name of the school. Number 26, right below the 25 there. Make a red line or you've got 26 cuts. There is a special. Write it right down on the bottom. And all I want you to do is identify it. Just tell me what you think it is. This time I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Oakley, who has been doing this for several years. Some of you are new, some of you have come back. Mr. Oakley?
Roy and Kathy Cal, the home demonstration agent, we again look forward again this year for a new group of faces, some old faces, and we're going to have a good time. You hope you learn a little bit about the meat. We've got a fun thing. We've got some new cuts. You've got some new charts. But if I'm right, this is Mrs. Birch's 6th grade class from Davis, Oklahoma. Am I right, kids?
All the 6th graders.
All of the 6th graders, including Mrs. Jameson's and yours too, right? Okay. Okay, now you do have your charts, you have your pencils, and you're about ready to go, and we're going to have a good time. Let me tell you, this is being done by Channel 7, and he's going to have this today at noon if he can get through in time to go over to Sulphur, and it'll be on today at noon. Then he's going to show it again, I believe, tomorrow night. Tonight at 6:30, correction. Okay, now you can get to see and get Mom and Dad to look at this deal. And again, this is from the Mayo family and Channel 7 at Sulphur. If you're on the cable, you're going to receive it. All righty?
Harold, we have Mr. Clemens, the
Yeah. I didn't see Jimmy.
elementary principal.
Jimmy, come on over here. We need to, this, he's not only the principal, he's the bus driver, he's the Key Club coordinator. He's a lot of things in Davis Elementary School. And again, this young man started out and come through school and come all the way, was band director, and he's back now as our principal, and we're real proud of him. I'd like to point out something else that I want to tell to you young people. You see this little thing right here? BJ, I want you to get a picture of that. Part of these young people and part of the other young people presented this old guy with awards from the grade school, and this was made in the FFA and the 4-H departments at the both Sulphur and Davis School. That's just made out of horseshoes and different things, but that's my 2 prized possessions. Mr. Goodson was the principal of the school when this one was presented and given to us, and then last year Roy brought this over and presented it to me.
Alan Dale presented that to you.
Well, he presented it to me, that's
Yes.
correct, but I think you was instrumental in trying to get it together. If you'll notice on this thing right here, BJ, turn around here and take a look at this right here. That had a little thing sticking out here that said H.O., and that was my brand. But that broke off, and the young people were going to go take it back and put it on there, and I said, no, leave it just alone, because that spells I-O, and that's Imogene Oakley, of which she has a brand on everything I own. That happens to be my wife, so we leave it just like that. But I wouldn't take anything for those things, and I really appreciate it. Now then, we can get on with the contest, because they've got to get after it and get the whistles blowing, right?
Kids come in and just get behind one cut of meat in here.
What they're doing is fixing to line up with their cards, and they will be around one. There's 25. There'll be one by each cut, and then he will blow a whistle when 60 seconds elapses, which is 1 minute. They have 1 minute to look at it and to identify it. How many of you parents could tell me what a pinbone steak looks like or what a porterhouse steak? These young people are going to be able to show you, Mom and Dad, I hope. With a little continuity, we will have it, and I really get a thrill out of watching these young people do this work and learn something that might be useful in their lifetime later on.
The winners now of the Maury County Meat Identification Contest will go to Ada tomorrow, and that'll be the district meet, and then the ones that win there will be in Oklahoma City on March the 22nd. So those youngsters are not through yet. That's it for this newscast, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you at the 6:30 news.
Never lived in a great big city, never wanted to. Rather live in a place like Sulphur with folks like me and you. Rather live where there's sunshine, clean water and good times. Of all the places that I've known, I'd make Sulphur home. There's a bank right here in Sulphur that's owned by folks you know. Folks who have a big commitment to helping Murray County grow. Friends that you grew up with who'll help you do what you want to do. At Sulphur Community Bank, you've got friends who always will be standing by you.
Member FDIC.